All right, so today I'm going to show you these two really simple patterns. Really easy to play, but once you've learned this, you can play over any chord, over any progression. So it's really amazing. And then in a second, I'm going to show you how something magical happens when you mix these two patterns together. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to show you how to play over minor chords. So there's an A minor chord, right? And if you outline that chord with the notes in the chord, you get these three notes: the root, the third, and the fifth. And then you can play that in octaves like this. So that's a minor arpeggio. Now, if you fill in the gaps, what you get is a pentatonic scale. If you add in this little step between the third and the fifth, you just walk up like that. You're adding in the fourth. And then I'm going to add in the seventh as well. So you end up with this. That little pattern right there, right? So there's your basic minor chord with a fourth and a seventh put in. And those are the notes of the minor pentatonic scale. Now, if I reordered that to make the patterns really simple to memorize, you get this. I'm going to start on the seventh instead. So right down here. So I'm going to start on the seventh, the root, minor third, the fourth, and the fifth. So that's the pattern, right? You've all seen that before, that little memorable pattern. Now, you can play that in octaves. And you string all that together. That's the pentatonic run across the neck of the guitar, but it's also outlining the sound of a minor chord. It's the sound of a minor chord. Now here's what gets interesting. Say if I'm playing a minor blues and I move to the minor 4 chord, I can do that exact same run over that chord. And it fits perfectly over that chord, but it sounds more interesting and more colorful because I'm really outlining the sound of the chord. And then if I go to an E minor up here, I can do the same thing and it's outlining that chord again. So I'm changing key with the chords, which is the real trick to playing over changes. Now, I'm getting up kind of high on the neck here, so I can just use a root 5 version of that. But it's the same thing. Once you know where those intervals are, you can do the same pattern, right? So you've got your root here, start on your seventh, walk up, and then just connect the dots. It's this little box shape, right, where you got this and a slide. And then you just go up an octave. Now, remember, whenever you're dealing with between the G and the B strings, you've got to move everything over one fret. So if I play an E minor here, so same box shape, but I'm sliding over one fret as I go into the B string. So now, let me take a look at the major chord. So say if I'm going to play an A major chord, let's outline the notes in the chord again. So you got your root, you got your major third, which is right here, and then you got your fifth. So that's a major arpeggio. You got 1, 3, 5. You can do it in octaves again. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to fill in the gaps. Right, so I'm going to start my root there. I'm going to go to my second, slide up to the third, here's the fifth, and then I'm going to add in the major sixth. So that kind of fills in the gaps. It makes a major pentatonic scale. And then there's the little pattern. So this time it's a slide up, and then you got the little box shape there. Repeats up an octave, slide up, the little box shape. So that's the major pentatonic shape, and it fits perfectly over a major chord, right? Now I can do the same thing. So I just say if I go up to a C or a D, and then I can do it on the root 5 as well. So here's the D right here. That's my root. Sliding up to the third, and then up to the sixth. that little shape. Slide and then the box. You know, and Hendrix, people like that would do this a lot, you know, where he would play a power chord and then slide, outlining the sound of the chord. Then you can start to combine that idea between major chords and minor chords. So, for example, D major to A minor. Now, I see that's an unusual chord progression going from D major to A minor. But when you're using this little method, you're playing over those chords. And you can find the melodies within that. So here's where it gets really interesting. When you're playing over rock and blues stuff, you're actually playing over dominant 7 chords instead of major or minor chords. And the beauty of a dominant 7 chord is it's kind of like a mixture between a major and a minor chord in terms of it's a major chord with a minor 7th in it. So you can actually use either of those patterns and you can mix and mingle them. So when you're playing over an A7 chord, you can use this shape or major pentatonic, and you can mix and match them. So for example, like Clapton would do this a lot. He will play a solo and he'll start in perhaps the major first. And then he'll move into the minor. And the easiest way to rotate between the major and the minor patterns is around the root note. So for example, if I start right here in the, I'm on my root note right there. And there, I've gone up to my root here. And then I'm going to jump into the major pattern. And then back to the minor. So that is a way that you can essentially play over major, minor, and dominant chords using this simple shape of either the minor shape or the major shape. Or mixing and matching between them, rotating around the root note. So I hope you have fun with that. It's a nice, easy pattern to remember, but there's almost endless licks that you can find by mixing those patterns together. And really, when you actually use this to play over particular chords in a progression, it really makes the playing sound more colorful and more interesting, and tracking along with those chord changes is just a really great way to get more expressive with your playing. So I hope you found this helpful, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know if you've got any questions or what you'd like me to do videos about. And I really appreciate you guys watching and listening to the new album, Evangeline. I'll drop a link right here as well if you want to check it out. It's our new album. And have fun with your playing. And remember, turn it up.